Yeah, it is weird, yeah. I've been really busy the past few days. I haven't really had a chance to like make any updates or anything. Let me check something else as well. So basically, I sent my helm for a boot for an enchant. The boot has come back, so it took like 2 days or something. But the helm hasn't, so unfortunately the helm does help me with some reservations. So I'm losing a bit of damage because of that. Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna do Delve. There's an all somewhere here. About, I think, depth 180 or something. So the damage now is pretty good. So even without my helm and the enchant, it's currently at about 15 mil. Once I get the enchant and my helm back, it will be about 15-16 mil. It's pretty tanky as well. Build is like 120k. K, 110 and 120k EHP. I'll briefly explain later why the EHP of this character is pretty high. I'm surprised that you can actually be this tanky on a Deadeye. But Deadeye is actually pretty strong if you stack on like less damage taken, which this build does. I think when it comes to like the build where it currently is at, I don't think there is much more improvements I can make. So I'm just gonna be farming and just playing normally, not really pushing for anything. Perhaps an upgrade on the weapon, but the rest is pretty much gonna stay the same. Maybe get up to level 98. And I'll consider maybe making another build. Alright, time to do it all. Alright, time to do this. Oh, that was fast. Okay, never mind. I messed up. Ooh. Wondering if I should just reset it because I can't do the challenge this way, but most probably I'll find another all, so Yeah, it's fine. I'd like to have reset it just to keep trying for the challenge, but I mean, this is a video, so I'll just do the all and get the drops and look for another one to get the challenge. What? Oh. Wait. Oh, it counted. Alright. No amulet, unfortunately. So I did the challenge without allowing any of the crystalline cocoons to open. Oh, because he didn't do the event, so it doesn't count. Alright, great. So I got the challenge anyway. So yeah, damage on this character is really good. Did Maven. Probably will be able to do Ubeldo this. Likely we'll be able to attempt Ubers, but not do them comfortably. I think at the very top end the damage will go up to about 20 million if I tweak every item. If I tweak every slot. Especially the weapon slot right now. So I have this, which gives me Culling Strike, so that's 10% more damage. It gives me 60% multi as well, and the first note's kind of useless. But ideally what I would want is I would like this, a multi node or a crit node, and a spell damage node, and then one more, like, I think mines have an extra chance of activating node would be also great. Unfortunately, while I was trying to craft for these, I tried to craft it twice, once on a scepter and once on this, and it bricked both times. So yeah, my luck is pretty bad, but I'll keep trying. In the meantime, I am using this dagger so far, and I got this in one essence. So I got the T1 cold damage spells along with the spell damage on the essence roll with the mana regeneration rate, and then I crafted on the mind throwing speed, so suffixes are full. Slammed on an exalt, and then got a flat cold damage to attacks, which does absolutely nothing for me, which is fine. I mean, what else, right? I've made an upgrade for this. So I bought this for about 2 divines. It was pretty cheap. Maximum frenzy charges is like super good for me because of the cast speed. And the reason why I'm going enfeeble instead of something like purity of elemental weakness is simple, because when it comes to this particular mastery, hits have a 25% chance to treat enemy monster elemental resistance values as inverted. This node actually is less valuable the more res shred you have. So you have the ability to shred resistances through exposure, through double curse, through yeah, that sort of thing. It's not so ideal to have this particular node. So this node works perfectly with stuff like penetration, so elemental penetration, which I have a lot of, right? So if you look at my stats right now, I have 74 Ellie pen. So along with this node is all the pen I need. I don't really need more pen. So although I have Whispers of Doom here for an extra curse, it makes a lot more sense to have a defensive curse than an offensive curse. Okay, so the reason why a defensive curse is good as well is because if you run a defensive curse here, defensive curse basically gives you a lot more EHP, because Enfeeble does reduce monster accuracy. It also allows you to reduce, I think, what was it? Reduce monster damage, right? So there's a lot of sources of damage reduction on a Deadeye, and I'll show you. So the damage reduction on Deadeye comes from focal point, so 25% less damage taken from other enemies near your marked enemy, so that helps with large packs of mobs. Also helps with Crucible because you can cast it on one mob, and then the rest will do 25% less damage. And then also you have less damage taken because of Berserk, so 19% less damage taken from Berserk, so that's 25, that's 19. And then you also have this, which is Wind Ward, less damage taken per Gale Force. So you get 3% taken per Gale Force, and with Gale Force, thing with Minor is that you get Gale Force pretty fast. So even if you do get hit, you can always get Gale Force within the next second. So you're almost always at about 30% less damage taken with Gale Force. So with 30% on this, 25% on this, that is a 55%. 55% with 19 is about 74. So you have 74% less damage taken with all these three things up, especially Gale Force, or rather Wind Ward, because Wind Ward, if you're not getting hit, like you're only getting DOTs, getting hit by DOTs, or not really hit, if you're getting damaged by damage over time, it doesn't count as a hit. So you still get the full damage reduction of 30% and 19%. And if the dots are also applicable to the, if the dots are from mobs, you also get less damage taken from this. So yeah, and then also you have this. So less damage over time, take 50% less damage over time if you start taking damage over time in the past second. So with all these sources of less damage taken, you actually take very little damage. This also means that for Wrathpit setup is ideal, because as long as you stop taking damage, you can always get your reservations removed, and therefore you won't die. So all in all, quite happy with the build, quite happy how it turned out. Oh yeah, this is another source of less damage taken, but this is from hits. Damage of enemies hitting you is unlucky while you're on low life. This also somewhat performs as a pseudo less damage taken. Alright, so that's pretty much all there is to it with regard to defenses. I will show you the POV later, and that's the reason why I'm quite happy with the build. It's actually far tankier than I expected it to be. I think my Scion with the same setup was about like half or a third of the tankiness. So this is pretty nuts. Yeah. Okay, the other source of defense as well is that you have about 12k evasion rating, and when you have your flask up, it's about 20k, so that's 71% chance to evade. So that means 71% chance to avoid taking damage from hits from attacks. And then also you have block. So right now, if you look at my block, it is wait, I forgot to press this. Alright, so that's 31% chance to block attack damage and 40% chance to block spell damage. Right, and then with suppression, and 81 suppression, and that being lucky, you have about close to 100 chance to, well, 95, close to 95% chance to evade, or rather suppress spells, which means 50% damage reduction. So there's a lot of sources of damage reduction here that isn't stuff from stuff like, max res, which is usually what most people rely on, or high armor. And this is more than enough to actually keep you alive in a lot of pinnacle content in boss fights and in crucibles. So right now in crucibles on maps, I'm doing T16 maps with Delirium most of the time, and I can actually fully charge crucible. And occasionally I do find problems, like there are certain uniques that do give me a tough time, but most of the time it's not really an issue, and I actually can do full clears on crucible at T16. So yeah, this is a very solid build. I think lightly I would be able to take it to about 130k EHP or 140k EHP with about 20 mil damage on pinnacle bosses. Well, I will probably continue to do that, and when I get to a point where I think I can't improve this build anymore, I might think of making a second build, although I'm probably going to be quite busy in the coming weeks ahead, so that remains to be seen if I will be playing that much. If I look at challenge, yeah, I'll probably try to finish challenges, but not too sure how long that will take me. Turiani's missionary. Alright, yeah. Alright. Glad to have you along for this video, and peace. See you guys.